What's up, Hokie fans? This is Coach Mike Holmes with the Sons of Saturday coming to you with this week's installment of the 10-Minute Tailgate. Every week on the 10-Minute Tailgate, we come up with a curated recipe and a cocktail to make your Hokie watching football experience that much better. This week, the Virginia Tech Hokies are playing the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. As I said last week, there's a lot of connections to our schedule this year. We've been in places where I've lived. We've been in places nearby where I've lived. This week, however, there's a little family twist to it. My father-in-law is a Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. So hats off to Chip Osman and my Georgia Tech family who's out in California. But for this week against Georgia, we've already had one trip to Atlanta where we're unfortunately lost to South Carolina. I'm just going to pay tribute a little bit to the state of Georgia. This week, we are going to make some Masters-themed drinks in the fall, even though the Ryder Cup just ended. Unfortunately, America lost. Good on Team Europe. But we're going to try to tie this into the Masters a little bit, and I'm going to give you two things that are staples at Augusta National. Number one, we're just going to do a plain old pimento cheese sandwich, and we're going to make them in kind of little handheld bites. But I'm going to walk through how to make this pimento cheese from scratch. Hopefully, you guys will be able to take that with you and be able to enjoy that at any time. For our drink, we're going to do another Augusta staple, which is called the Azalea. So it's a vodka cocktail mixed with lemonade, and so it's very, very good. So let's go ahead and get to making our pimento cheese. So first off, we start here with our shredded cheese. Now, personally, I like to take the block and use my food processor and grind it all down. If you want to go ahead and buy the pre-shredded cheese, that's okay. Sometimes that pre-shredded cheese comes with a little extra additive so that stuff doesn't bind together and it doesn't really work as well. So just keep that in mind if you buy the pre-shredded cheese. But I have white sharp cheddar cheese here. I got 2 pounds of cheese because I'm making a big batch here because we have a end of the season baseball celebration coming up this weekend that we're going to share this. So step 2, got cream cheese. Now here's the important thing about this cream cheese is that you got to make sure that it's softened. You should be able to take your spatula or whatever and be able to run it right through. So we want to kind of chunk that into little pieces and kind of add that in there. But this is room softened, room temperature cream cheese. Okay, add that to there. We're going to have 8 ounces of that. Now, on the mayonnaise side, I use Duke's mayonnaise. You're going to have 12 tablespoons of Duke's mayonnaise. I know it sounds like a lot. I am doubling this recipe. So 12 tablespoons of Duke's mayonnaise. We're going to add that in. Then our pimentos, okay? Diced red pimentos, okay? You're going to use a cup, 8 ounces of diced red pimentos. If you get a little bit of the oil that it's cooked in, that's okay. Kind of helps break it up a little bit. I did drain these, but I've had them sitting in the bowl for a minute, and so some of that extra liquid did fall out there, okay? So now we got our pimentos in. And then for the spice, couple twists of fresh ground black pepper, just to taste. And we're going to use some cayenne pepper to kind of give it a little bit of flair. Okay, so about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half, or a teaspoon and a half of cayenne pepper. We're going to add that to our mix. Now, here comes the fun part. We're just going to stir it together and mix it all up. Okay, make sure your mayonnaise gets intertwined with everything. So welcome back. Hope you enjoyed watching me stir in super speed. So now this is about the consistency that you're going to want in your pimento cheese, okay? You don't want it to be liquidy. You don't want it to be runny. You want it to be something where it'll actually kind of stick to the spoon, so it makes it a little easier to spread. And also you get to get the full flavor of the cheese and the pimentos, and you're not washing it out with mayonnaise, okay? So let's put our sandwiches together, okay? Take my 2 slices of bread. Again, it's going to be super simple. And we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of pimento cheese and you're going to kind of spread it around flat across the entire piece of bread. There we go. Plain and simple. Add your other piece of bread on top. Like I said, this one is very quick, very easy, but also very tasty. I'm going to cut these in diagonals twice to create my little finger sandwiches, and they're perfect for a tailgate. So here we have the pimento cheese sandwiches, perfect for tailgate. You can lay them out on a tray and just have people walk by and pick them as they go. But let's give it a little taste. Here's to it. Sharp cheddar cheese really attacks the palate, and then you get a nice little kick at the end with your cayenne pepper. It's really, really great. It's not too overpowering. If you want to wrinkle it up a little bit, you could add bacon bits to it. You could add some diced jalapenos. You could kind of do whatever you want. You could also play with the cheese a little bit. If you wanted to replace the cheddar with some and add some blue cheese to it, you could do that as well. And so there's a lot of different things that you could do with this, depending on what your flavor profile is personally. So this is a really great little snack here. So hang tight. We'll see you back in here in just a second, and we'll make our Azalea cocktail. Take care. Okay, everybody, welcome back to the 10-Minute Tailgate. Today, we are going to continue our Augusta-themed, our Masters-themed blend for the Georgia Tech game, and we're going to make an Azalea. So an Azalea is a staple at Augusta National, and it's a kind of a simple cocktail, but it's also light. It's easy to enjoy on a nice October afternoon when we're watching the Hokies at Bobby Dodd Stadium. So we're going to start with our vodka. Actually, we're going to fill our cup with ice first. Can't go anywhere without ice. So now we got our cup full of ice here. We're going to start with 2 ounces of vodka. So here we go. Got 1.5 ounces here. Got my Breckenridge vodka from here in Colorado. But whatever you prefer. And another 1/2 ounce. Here we go. All right. Now it gets kind of simple. We're going to add a dash of Rose's grenadine. Just a little splash here for some color. And then we're going to add some fresh lemonade. You can make your own lemonade. It can be store-bought. This is one of the better store-boughts that I've had. So pretty good. Then we're going to give it a little quick stir. Mix up the flavors. Again, no carbonation in this unless you wanted to add a little bit of club soda to it to give it a little kick, give it a little sparkle. But here's your Azalea. Cheers. Cherry and lemonade, vodka on ice. What's not to love about it, right? So again, that's our Azalea. And I hope you guys will enjoy that. It pairs really well with that pimento cheese sandwich. So thank you again for tuning in to the 10-Minute Tailgate. My name is Coach Holmes. Thank you to the boys, Billy Ray and Pat. Thank you to Sam and Pete. Follow them on the Sons of Saturday feed. Also follow the Too Deep feed. Listen to the podcasts and the videos that come out. Also check out College Football Monday every Monday for a recap of the previous week's events in college football. Watch the Hokies. Keep the faith. We love you guys. Go Hokies.